paper so that you can take photographs and then help me to write them. The most important thing here is that the applications must be submitted by 14th March 2025. And I give a simple warning here. Those of you who have relatives, help me write. Those who have relatives who are generals, colonels, please don't waste your time calling them. Just apply and submit. It is your application that is going to talk for you. Because if you miss to submit your application, then you will not be shortlisted. And this application should include what? 3 photocopies of certificates or result slips, 3 photocopies of the national ID, 3 photocopies of the recent passport size photographs, and 4 a letter of recommendation from LC1 chairperson to the applicant's village endorsed by LC1 and LC3 chairpersons of the district of origin. This one should even have been analyzed. Only shortlisted candidates will be contacted for interviews with dates to be announced. Successful applicants will complete a 9-month basic course at the prison training course.
Happening now. Tutaataganya mu mpeereza yaffe okukutuusaako ebyakagwawo. Happening now.
kyetaaga kati ojja kujja nayo ng'oze mu interview. Ekyokusatu, twetaaga obufaananyi bwo bwe wakakubisa obusatu nabwo bulina okuba nga buli ku application eno. Mpozi n'ekirala, olina ofuna ebbaluwa okuva ewa LC1 chairman ng'erimu stamp, ne LC2 oba LC2 ne LC3 nga bonna bataddemu stamp kukakasa nti bakumanyi ova mu kitundu. Kubanga bwe tuba tugaba emirimu gino tugigaba kusinziira ku districts, buli district erina okuba nga efunako. So stamp zino zetusaba zetugenderako. Ate tulina okitegeera nti yadde otaddeyo application oba olina okuteekako of course n'essimu yo engeri ki gye tunakusinkanamu, abanaayitamu abanaasunsulwamu be tujja okuyita. Bwe togamba nti nateekayo application bagambye interview zijja nja kugenda nkole interview, no, twagala tusunsulemu abalina ebisaanizo abo be tujja okukozesa interviews bokka. Ekikulu ennyo nti bw'omala okuyita ku interview zaffe olina okukkiriza kugenda ku training etali wansi wa myezi 9. Olina okwetegeka obwongo bwo n'omanya nti ozze kusooka ku training bwa kuva mu busivilian n'ofuuka omuserikale. Nti n'ekirala mu bintu byonna ebikolebwa anaakusaba ssente oba bw'onaawaayo ssente manya nti byokola bifu okolagana n'abafere, kubanga gino mirimu gya gavumenti, mirimu gya bwereere gy'Abannayuganda. Buli omu akkirizibwa kuba nti yeetabamu n'akola interview n'ayita n'afuna omulimu ng'abalala bwe tukola. Tusaba era nakulabula tutaddeko nti gwe bw'onooleeta ebipapula by'ebijingirire tujja kuwaayo mu mikono gya poliisi kubanga obwo bubeera bubbi. So tuyambe, totuwa bipapula ebijingirire, tebijja tuyamba. N'akasembayo ezino envuuvuumu ezeetooloola nti waliwo abasibe abalala abaganya emmere nga retired bwe yakola, si bituufu. Mu makomera gonna mu Uganda teri musibe ali ku hunger strike. Webale nnyo okumpuliriza. Ndowooza tewali bubuuzo. Munambuuza olwasayisa.
Good morning, officers in our midst. Good morning, the Fourth Estate. Good morning to all of you out there watching us and those listening to us. Today is a special day. It coincides with a number of things. First and foremost, I would like to notify all of you that today all the PROs of Uganda Police Force within the vast regions of the country are here. We are supposed to meet and have an interaction as the Force Press Unit. So, considering that coincidence, we made sure that they attend this maiden Monday presser or press briefing. Our PROs, you can just wave, those you see there. I think in the interest of time, I may not introduce you so that we run through but all the PROs, we have 29 regions in Uganda Police Force. We also have PROs of certain directorates like traffic. They are all here. So PROs, you are welcome. Now let me proceed with our briefing. This Monday briefing usually gives the state of security and operational incidents in the country. I would like to begin with what featured in the Daily Monitor. Daily Monitor is one of our media partners, but there is a story you ran that we felt we were not very comfortable with. We felt it amounted to a distortion, and a distortion on things we came out publicly and gave out to the public. Then we reserved a day when the directors went and again elaborated on the same. That is the annual crime report. So they made an allegation that the statistics in the police annual crime report 2024 showed violent crimes such as homicides and rape reducing. So they insinuated that we gave a false narrative, whereas not, that they were reducing, whereas it is not true. They made a number of allegations. So we said, no, let me put the record straight. We even imagined, did the writer read this report or he had a premeditated position? Because the police annual crime report indicates very clearly that a total of 4,329 cases of homicide were reported for the end of the year 2024, compared to 4,248 in 2023. And the report is very clear that there was a rise by 1.9% in homicides. Now the reporter now does the reverse. Intentions unknown. He goes to robberies. He again somersaults the record. And he gives an insinuation of a record standing on its head. Again, we were on the record that a total of 8,163 cases of robberies were reported in 2024, compared to 7,772 in 2023. And we clearly indicated that there was an increase by 5%. He does the same also with rape. So we felt really sometimes we really need to come out a bit responsibly while reporting. I can still give you, the record is very clear. The statistics of rape in our crime report, which we put even on the websites, it is clearly out in the public domain, reflects what we said. We said it increased by 5.7%. The reporter did not end there. Then he said that we did not. Actually, let me say this. In his presentation, he gave an impression that we were asserting that no suicide cases took place in 2024. When you read the text, he tries to bring out a picture that we are saying no suicide occurred in 2024. Our policy prohibits including incidents not legally classified as crimes in official crime reports. To report suicides in a crime report would be a contradiction in terms, given that Ugandan law does not recognize suicide as an offense. We cannot wake up and include things which clearly in the law are not offenses, and we classify them as offenses. Suicide, I make it and repeat it here, suicide is not an offense. Suicide is an occurrence. What is an offense can be attempted suicide. Whom do you prosecute in suicide? So sometimes, let's consult. If you want us to include them as occurrences, then say it, other than insinuating that we deliberately avoided. Because when you read the entire text, the writer tries to create an impression that we are trying to give a rosy picture. Why? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? And then contradict ourselves by putting the records as annexures at the back of the report, reflecting districts, reflecting jurisdictional areas where these statistics emanate from. Then, of course, to substantiate the story, starts quoting anonymous sources of some commanders who don't want to be mentioned, some this, some that. Crime statistics are not estimates, they are not corridor talk. They reflect actual incidents officially recorded by the police. The Uganda Police Force utilizes comprehensive crime records management system extending from local police posts to CID headquarters. There is a well-defined and traceable manner in which our record moves from the lowest administrative unit of police to CID headquarters before we make the final compilation of this information. This ensures that all crime records from the lowest levels are captured through the entire data capture process, enabling accurate generation of police reports. So, what we want to say is that such reports are usually very discomforting because they are baseless, exaggerated, and at the end of the day, they discredit, unfairly discredit the image of institutions. So we still call upon reporters to be responsible. You do not exaggerate things just for the sake and for personal gain. So this is the message I wanted to put forward today, so that we put the record straight, that whoever is interested in what exactly transpired in our crime report, go to our website, you will find it there, read it, analyze it well, rather than making wild speculations. You see, by this, it shows that this district never reported any case. No, please, we cannot use those type of estimations. We go by the record that was given, that the entries that were made at police stations. We are not going to get village quarrels and we turn them into crimes. There are so many things which at times come to police but end up not entering into the police record. Why? Because when analyzed, they end up depicting no offense. So we wanted to put this record clear. Thank you very much on that one. The other issue, like I earlier said, that we give you a state of operational incidents, but we also share pieces of advice in lieu of certain observations we make which affect the security and safety of the wananchi. You recall that on 5th March, we registered a very terrible fire at Sunrise Hotel, just in Kampala CBD, downtown. Our officers from Kampala Metropolitan meticulously gave you an update on the details and how the rescue exercise went on. But there are certain critical issues as Uganda Police Force we wish to re-echo and reiterate. These are not new issues. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned them in a press briefing. I will not tire re-echoing the same, and based on the experience we went through at that incident. Earlier, I talked about the availability of emergency fire equipment. Now, that hotel had a non-functional hydrant. Let me be clear and on the record. Because I talked to our firefighters, I asked them, what is your assessment of that hotel's capability to fight fire? Did it have that capability? No, it did not. I don't know, at a given time we are going to retrieve the clips when I've been making these communications. I mentioned it, I think I mentioned it at that time when students were resuming school this term. I said, we shall be here and we shall still find people reneging on the same advice we gave them. They were operating a business below the hotel because the hotel was in the upper floors. Now the business was dealing in chemicals which are highly or potentially flammable, highly flammable. And now our team is assessing the fire fighting capability of the structure. The water hydrant cannot even water plants. Because what we are saying is that if you have this equipment with you, by the time police comes, because police does not park near your structure, police does not keep its firefighting equipment in your backyard. At times, you may even have a fire when the same machines are somewhere combating another. There is traffic jam. So you must account for a time lag. So this is what happened. The people became helpless and started climbing to the topmost floors. When our team came, now another problem emerged. Access. There is a certain walkway our teams were sharing with me, where the vehicle should have passed so that they have a very good proximity to the building so as to have their ladders clipped on the building to rescue the people who are in the upper floors. Now that one also became a problem. And that one now comes to the manner in which we construct some of these structures. Now these issues, we shall share them relentlessly. For those who have ears, let them hear. Billions are being lost, lives are being lost. 2 lives were lost in that fire. And the proprietor, I guess, is also registering losses. A fire cannot visit you and you remain the same as a proprietor. And now this business, which was dealing in highly flammable material, when you know that you are running a business of that kind, it becomes even more important than that you devise highly improved firefighting or safety equipment. So that is one of the pieces of advice. Now, I want to share equally on the same, on the fire. Whereas we thank the Wananchi who helped in the rescue process, there are those ones who made it a business to steal and to lift property, taking advantage of the tumultuous situation. Now, we warn you, of course we condemn that act, and if we get you with that stolen property, don't ask questions. So there are those who turned it into a trade or an opportunity to steal. So that one is a warning. As police, we are going to do more engagements with persons who own businesses of this kind. The Director, Fire and Rescue Services, as well as the Commander KMP, intend to do some engagements, especially in the CBD here, to see how we can, in future, mitigate these kind of incidents. Thank you in respect to that. The other issue I wish to share with you is the Kawempe North by-election. On 13th March, this week, the people or the voters in Kawempe North constituency will go to the ballot to choose their member of parliament following the demise of Honorable Segirinya Mohammed. To ensure a smooth and fair process, all parties, and we re-echo this, are asked to follow the Electoral Commission's guidelines. We also encourage candidates to work closely with the Uganda Police Force. We have designated police officers at the rank of Superintendent of Police at all the 9 parishes in Kawempe North to coordinate security. So we shall be linking these officers to the candidates. Elections are a very challenging exercise. Sometimes they can explode into something. It's understandable. But what is most important is for us to have mechanisms of trying to address these discrepancies whenever they arise. Anything can emerge from anywhere, a spark, and then you have a conflict, and at times that conflict can go violent, occasioning injuries. But it is our prayer that we avoid all this and have a peaceful process, because that's what democracy dictates. So we have designated that. Where situations have not gone well, let's try to see that we correct our mistakes. So that is what I'm sharing. Meanwhile, we also urge people, I know this one is very common, especially in this world of social media, do not announce your own results because they will not be considered. Wait for the official results from official sources, and that is the Electoral Commission, so that you don't cause unnecessary anxiety. And we shall have a peaceful exercise. Thank you very much on that one. I would like to share with you as well on an issue of public interest. Over the weekend, there were social media saturations which we monitored of the disappearance and later re-emergence of Mr. Muvawala Charles. So last week on Friday, Mr. Muvawala resurfaced, allegedly after being dumped in Bulisa by his captors. As police, we wish, of course, to come out because we had an interaction with his people when that incident allegedly occurred. On 5th March, his driver, called Mr. Businge, reported the case to Old Kampala police station that Mr. Muvawala had disappeared. So we made an entry. Then we asked him a few things to tell us what exactly happened. He narrated that Mr. Muvawala was having an evening at, and he was using sauna in Happy Boys Bar in Nakulabye. So he called his driver, Businge, at around 10 p.m. So they stayed at that bar up to around 1 a.m. when Mr. Muvawala told the driver that he was going to an ATM to carry out a transaction. After a while, the driver started calling Mr. Muvawala, which calls went unanswered. And that one caused the driver to suspect something was not okay. So he went and made an entry into Old Kampala police station. The long and short of it, the story is long, but what I would say is that we interested ourselves into the matter of a disappearance, and the little I can report is that the CCTV footage we have come across shows at one point Mr. Muvawala leaves the bar, then meets some people whom we have not yet identified, and he has a short conversation with them. After that short conversation, he then took a motorcycle. He took a motorcycle, and that is the last time police monitors his movements. So it is on the evening of 7th March when his brother informs police that he has been found in Bulisa, dumped by his captors. When we wanted to re-engage Mr. Businge, the driver, he advised us that for any further details, we should get Mr. Rubongoya and the deputy spokesperson is called who? Who is that deputy spokesperson of NUP? Mufumbiro. Mufumbira? Is it Mufumbira? Mufumbiro. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, but our appeal is if he can come along and we carry out investigations, because speculations is that he was tortured, he has the torture marks, but the police doors are open to listen to his side of the story, and we see how much we can help. Lastly is our operational updates in the Karamoja sub-region. Our operations, we shall continuously be reminding you that they are going on, and the anti-stock theft unit of police and the UPDF as well as the Wananchi are doing a tremendous job, and they carried out a number of activities, and we usually give you these outputs. They recovered one gun from the warriors, recovered the ammunition, one civilian was killed by these warriors, so that is murder. We arrested 21 of the warriors in the course of the week. 53 cattle were reported stolen, but our teams managed to do 45 recoveries of cattle in the course of the week. 47 goats were reported stolen. 47 goats were recovered by our teams. There is usually a verification exercise done. Are they stolen? Are they not stolen? So that verification process was done on 377 cattle and also 1,148 goats. Thank you very much for listening to me. I think I can give you the Luganda version. Njagala kudamu okulamusa mwena abatuwuliriza n'abatulaba, n'okulamusa abannamawulire mikwano gyaffe abali wano, kubanga tubasiima nnyo bwe mujja ne mutuwa obudde ne mufuna ebintu bye twogera then mwe ne mubitwala mu bawanayinki, era tubasiima nnyo, mwebale kujja. Kati tuyina leero tuli wano mu tenti yaffe Naguru. Nayise ba PROs baffe ab'omu ggwanga aboogerera police mu regions 29 nga kwotadde traffic, kwotadde Kampala Metropolitan. Onyango ye muba mumulaba buli kaseera, tukola naye ne Kananura, naye bonna bali wano era today tuli wamu. So ba PROs baffe just muwubireko ku bantu beebo nga bwe mubalaba. Njagala kutandika ne story eyafulumidde mu lupapula lwa Monitor nga egamba nti poliisi kirabika ebintu bye mwatuwa ku lwoku bwe twali twanjula annual crime report ey'emisango egibagibaddewo mu mwaka, era nga luno twali twanjula omwaka 2024, nti kirabika ebintu mubikwatakwatamu tebivaayo, tebirambukirwa bulungi. Kati ne bagezako n'okulaga nti kati nga mu bya murders, rape, ndozwa ne robberies, nti twalaga nti emisango gyali gisse naye ng'ekituufu gyali gikoze eki, nga ekituufu gyali girinnye, ate nga kyebo ekituufu ffe twagamba nti emisango gyali girinnye. Yusi olusi waliwo abantu bwe bagenda ne bapapa, oli ajja nga already akwetegekedde, kati nga ne bw'anaasoma ebirimu tebigenda kubanga ekigendererwa kyo already aba amaze okukola ki, okukiseetinga. By the way, nekeneerabidde okwogera mu luzungu is wali olabirawo nti bali bajja paka tuwandiikako bubi, kubanga n'olunaku lwe baafulumya about the crime report bakozesa ekifaananyi ky'omupoliisi eyali ya retiringa nga director wa CID. Omuntu nga yakwetegekedde paka tolina bw'omudduka. Bakozesa ekifaananyi ky'omu ku eyaliko omukulembeze mu poliisi. So sometimes tugezeeko nnyo okulaba nti ne bw'oba gezaako okumaintaininga professional line eyo, ate mulina okumanya bino ebintu oba okosa bano for really no good reason, then bwe bava ku statistics ezo ate nga twaziwa bulungi nti bw'ogenda mu kitabo kyaffe ekyo ekitabo osobola n'okisanga ku mutimbagano gwa poliisi kubanga twakiteekako. Kiragira ddala nti statistics za homicides, kyetuyita homicides oba obusi, zaalinya akatundu kamu 1.9%. 1.9% bw'ogerageranya omwaka 2023 n'omwaka 2024. Netugamba nti robberies zaalinya obutundu 5% bw'ogerageranya egy'emyaka ebiri. Then netugamba ne rape netulaga nti yalinnya obutundu 5.7%. Naye ekyo tekyatutaasa paka oli yali ayina kukola ki, okuwandiika kye baali bamutumye. Then ne bajja ne bagamba poliisi yagezaako okulaga ekifaananyi nti teri muntu yeewanika. Okwewanika si weeyo suicide, okwetuga. Kati kankirambike bulungi, suicide si musango. Yali sose ne yeebuuza buli suicide bwebaawo okyajingaani, ani wootwala mu kooti? Now ekitabo kya annual crime report, owulira n'ekigambo crime, kirimu emisango gye baba bazizza. Kati tetuyinza kwetumiikiriza ne tuteekamu ekitali misango. N'ebintu ebirala bingi ebijja ku police stations okwo naye tetubiteekamu kubanga biba tebiri misango. So mujja tuyambako ku bantu ng'abo, naye tujja kwogera nabo kubanga bantu baffe, ate especially nganze nkolegana nabo buli kaddakiika. So ndooza tujja kugezaako kulaba engeri gye tugonjolamu en reporting eno. Then bakwotinga abasirikale. Ono waliyo omusirikale yatugambye, kati oyo yeekweka omubirivinga otya n'ova ku information ffe gye tutadde ku mutimbagano. This time round report eno twagiteekako ne annex, kye bayita annexures, ebye twagattako. Annexures ani amanyi Oluganda olulungi? Enyongereza eraga nti district eno yeno data gye twajjayo. So naye muntu bw'aba asazeewo eno wetukuleka n'oyogera by'oyagala kubanga we cannot gag your mouth, naye ogwaffe gwakujjayo amazima. So ekyo mbadde njagala nkiteeke ku record nga bwe kiri. Mwebale nnyo ku ekyo. ensonga endala mujjukira natuula wano ku police headquarters ng'abaana batandika omusomo nenjogera ku miriro ngambagamba nti emiriro gino abantu balina okugyegendereza because anytime gigwawo. Era nali njogera ku miriro gy'omu masomero nga tugamba nti ndi kwogera ku muliro leero naye kijja kwewunyisa enkya gujja kubaawo nga n'ebintu bye tubadde tusabye abantu bateeke mu nkola tebabikoze. Kati nga 5 March mwalaba omuliro ogwabutukira ekizimbe kye bayita Sunrise Hotel wano mu makati ga Kampala mu CBD. Ne gutamu abantu 2 ne gulumya abantu 24. Twalabula bulungi nnyo naye twagenza okuzuula nga bye twayogerako byennyini tebyakolebwa. Kati ekizimbe kino ekisooka nga bwe twagamba nti poliisi etwala akadde because erina okuva gy'ebeevudde okujja ku scene. Omuliro gutwala eddakiika 4 okutandika okucreatinga havoc, naye tugenda okutuuka ku scene nga teriyo kuuma kalwanisa ki muliro. Bali balina ka fire hydrant naye nga tekafulumya mazzi. Fire hydrant lwe luno olupiira oluba kati ebizimbe ebyo ebinene bye mulaba byali badde biina emipiira nti omuliro bwe gutandika at least olina kyotaasako nga ne poliisi bw'ejja okulwana. Fire extinguishers, exit doors, enzigi ze basobola okuddukiramu nga waabaddewo obuzibu. Kati bwe twatuuka obuzibu obulala nga hoteri nayo tetulina bwe tugituuka bulungi. Olukuubo lwe twali badde tuyitamu okusobola okutuuka ku kizimbe tusobole okukozesa amadaala gaffe nga emmotoka zaffe tezisobola kuyitamu, ate nga abantu bali eri bakuba enduulu waggulu ku kizimbe. So twasazeewo tugenda kuyita abantu bano tulabe engeri gye tu meetingamu abasuubuzi bano ba investors. Era director waffe owa Fire and Rescue Afande Tanui ne Kampala Metropolitan Commander bajja kuba batunula mu nsonga eno. Abantu bali kuluzinga sente naye nga message gye tubabuulira ntono nnyo basobola okukikola ki okuwuliriza. Then tuyina ne baganda baffe twagala okubasiima bawanayinki. Yes, wadde tubasiima okutuyambako mu rescue exercise naye waliwo abasiiwuuka empisa bo ne bakozesa chance eyo ne bafuuka babayita bakyala kimpadde, thieves, rogues. So abo bo one manya ne tumala tukukwatako ebintu tebiyinza kutambulira bulungi, so tubalabula okukozesa. Ate sometimes abalala bagikozesa nga chance mu accidents. Ndoza mwalaba okulunaku olwo abaali banywa emyenge. You can imagine people are burning in a house. For you are stealing alcohol for drinking and drinking on site with a lot of impatience. So abobo tubalabula. That hooliganism, we shall address it. Then ndoza ekyo so twagala kwogera n'abantu bananyini bizimbe ebyo n'okubakolako inspections ez'amaanyi. Ensonga endala gye njagala okwogerako ye ya Kawempe by elections nti nga 13 tugenda mu kalulu Kawempe North. Oluvannyuma mujjukira yali omubaka bwe yafa Honorable Segirinya omugenzi. Kati poliisi tubadde tusaba nnyo tulabe nti akalulu ako tukayitamu bulungi. Akalulu nga bwe mukamanyi kabeeramu ebbugumu lingi. Olumu ensonga pati zirema okutegeregana, then ogenda okulaba ebikonde byase biki. Luli mwalaba okwemyola wakati wa security ne ekiwayi ekimu ekya gundi ekyaba politicians. Si bwe twaliyagadde ebintu bitambule, era tusazeewo okumakinga sure nti parishes omwenda eziri mu Kawempe North zonna tugenda ziteekako senior officer okulaba nti wewabaawo ensonga ezeetaagibwa okugonjoola oyo officer mu kiti kye nga senior alaba engeri gyakwatagana ne bapoliticians bano okulaba nti elections zitambula bulungi. Twagala n'okukubiriza aba candidates okwogera ne ba supporters baabwe okulaba nti bakuuma eddembe. Tugezeeko okulaba nti akalulu kano ennaku ezisigaddeyo zino tukayitamu bulungi. Then ensonga endala gye njagala okusharinga namwe nga sinaba kugenda kweyo akalulu, tulina omuze ogw'abantu okulangirira. Ekisooka ne bw'olangirira ng'okola mu katale oba ng'oli eyo otudde ku Twitter account, ne bw'olangirira results ezo teri asobola zigoberera wanga tojja genda omulayize. So tulinde Electoral Commission ekole omulimu gwayo ogw'okulayiza ba candidates abanaakola ki anaaba awangudde. So ensonga endala gye mbadde njagala okusharinga namwe yeya ku social media ne other media platforms wali wayitingana information ey'omwami omu we bayita Charles Muvawala abula nga 5 then nga 9 n'alabika nga 7 March n'alabika nga bagamba nti bali bamuwambye era nga abamuwamba nti bamusuula buliisa. Nga poliisi twagala record eno tugiteeke straight nti twafuna report eyo nga 5 March nti omwami ono yali abuze. Report yaleetebwa gundi we driver era yaja na reportinga. Driver n'atubuulira nti omwami ono yali mu bbaala emu gye bayita Happy Boys Bar. So driver yamusangawo saawa 4, then ku saawa nga 7 ogw'ekiro n'agamba driver we nti agenda kweyambisa ATM mu kifo ekyo. So driver bwe yalaba ng'obudde buyiseewo ono nga takola ki nga takwata simu kwe kujja otuloopera. Naye maybe mu luzungu kyesitattaddemu is that yamala n'asindikira driver we message nti abasajja bankutte oba abasajja oba obusajja whatever. So yasobola okufuna time n'asindikira message driver we, then tugenda okutunula mu CCTV ennaku ezaddako mu kunoonyereza ziraga nga yabuukira bodaboda bwe yamala okwogera n'abasajja abamu be yali nabo. Bayogerako akaddakiika katono we baali bayimiridde, then n'ayimiriza bodaboda n'agibuukira. Awo we twakoma okumufuna mawulire ge twaddako okuwulira nti baali bamuwambye. So naye nga Uganda Police Force engeri gye twawulira nti bali bamutuusizaako ebisago injuries naki aveeyo ajje atuwe more information gye tusobola okutambulirako tulabe engeri gye tusobola okuyambamu okunoonyereza omusango guno. Meanwhile bwe twabuuziza muganda wa driver owa muvawala bwe twali tutandise naye n'atugamba yabadde aweerebwa nti what do you call guidance alungamizibwa nti information endala yonna tutuukirire ekitebe kya NUP nga tulaba Secretary General Lubongoya ne Mufumbira the deputy spokesperson owa Mufumbiro naye ffe tukyayimiridde ku ekyo nti okunoonyereza tujja kukola bwe tuba nga tufunye obujulizi bwe tusobola okutambulirako. Ekisembayo ye issue ya operations zaffe ze tukola mu Karamoja. Twagala okusiima abasirikale baffe n'amagye ga UPDF abakola omulimu omulungi era ntera okufuna reports zino. Where is our reporter from Karamoja sub-region? Logore yoyo atuwanga updates nti kati nga luno twazuulayo emundu emu okuva mu ba warriors abo betugezaako okugundi okulemesa sasi then nabo batayo civilian omu then twakwatayo ba warriors 21 then mu operations omwo baripotingayo ente enzibe 53 naffe twaregisteringayo ezo zetwakwata zetwasobola okununula 45 then embuzi enzibe babayo 47 n'ebikwekweto byaffe byasobola okununula 47 then waliyo zino zetutera okuyisaamu akasengejja nzibe si nzibe kyetuyita verification. So ekyo kikolebwa nnyo mu Karamoja. Ezo twakola verification ku ente 377 then embuzi 148. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okumpuliriza. Kale tulinayo ebibuuzo nja kuddamu ekibuuzo kimu then omulala nga bwabuuza engeri gye sitagenda kuwandiika. Yes, yogera nnyo abalala bonna bawulire. Kempi, do you have an answer for the Wakiso? Look, do you have an answer? Okay, but you will answer it. Can be discussed within yourselves. Kati chobuziza obuziza ku ba pastors. Ba pastors abo tuchakola okunoonyereza kwaffe. Updates from our officers mbadde sinaba kufuna esembayo kubanga nagamba nti bwe tuli ready tujja kujja tubategeeze naye ate n'okukwatayo tukwateyoko abamu. What he asked was about last week we mentioned the issue of soliciting wananchi by people who purport to be traditional healers and pastors. And by the way, let me make the record straight. I think these are not even pastors and traditional healers, because a real pastor is a good person who is doing pastoral services. Traditional healing is a legitimate activity. Even before the white people came here to colonize us and change our entire life and discourse, we were using our own traditional medicine with our healers. Now, these we have are Bafere. And last week, we said they fleeced a lot of money, they take land titles, they take, even in some incidents, they even take people's marriages. They destroy marriages. I received, last week, I received a complainant whom I referred to our investigators who took advantage of our presser and came to my office. Now, these are conmen and women whom at an opportune time we are going to arrest. So, I have not yet been updated on progress by our investigators, but as soon as they are ready, you will see action. Yes. Yes, Ndugu. Kibet. Oh, okay. Kati kankudemu obuuziza oba anti bagamba abantu bewamba oba babawamba nti ate kisiiga erinnya lyaffe, kitusiiga erinnya eribi. Kitusiiga tutya erinnya eribi nga topuruvize nti yefe abawambye? Waliwo abantu abatusiiga erinnya eribi ne bwe tuba tetuyina kye tukoze. So abo mu bantu abo don't mind about such fellows. Waliwo abantu abamu nga bo bagulirire okumakinga sure nti beno n'erinnya lya poliisi. Kati abo tetuyina kwegayirira kwonna kwe tuyinza kukola nti mutuyambe erinnya lyaffe mulikuume. They will spoil the name of the police with or without a just cause. Ku incident ya Nyanzi twawa statement. Yes, mu press anakyogerako na era ne tusaba nti wabaawo kati issue gye twagala is wabaawo engeri yonna gy'osobola otuyambamu with information leading to our investigations ogituwa. Nyanzi, I remember he gave a statement about it. Now, ekyamuvawala, I've given a statement. Ate ekirala, you can see, yegwe oyina information eya bewamba, tebewamba. Otherwise, fete tunaba kwogera ku kintu ki yewambye oba teyewambye. If you are very, very observant, nawe tobanga oli eyawandiika ku crime report. Because bw'osoma text yange yonna, soogeddeeko ku okwewamba. Kivudde mu kamwako, and surprisingly it will end up in your news. Smuggled. The point is, as a professional person here, ngambye nti tewaliwo conclusion yonna nti oba omuntu yewambye oba nedda. Nali kyogedde. If I had wanted, nali kyogedde nti yewambye. Naye, I cannot say nti Mr. Muvawala yewamba, ate nga sirina bujulizi. Ate nga I belong to a body ekola conclusions based on an investigation. So, let me repeat it in English. I cannot draw conclusions that Mr. Muvawala kidnapped himself when I don't have evidence. It would be extremely unprofessional of me and a total misrepresentation of the position of Uganda Police Force. I have deliberately avoided those insinuations. Actually, it is you who is smuggling them here. Now, the position is that there was an occurrence. I have given the extent of our engagement with Mr. Muvawala, how we interacted with his driver, and how best we can interact with him if we are to arrive at a logical finding in respect to this speculation. So the police position is very clear. I cannot accuse him of what I am not sure of. Neither should police be accused of what we didn't do. If there is evidence that we are the ones who did it, you bring it out. When police makes arrests, we tell whom we have arrested, we tell you where we have taken him, we subject him to an investigation, we take statements from that person. Once we find an iota of an allegation sustainable, we have his file sanctioned and we take him to court. When the court finds that what we are accusing him of does not hold water, they quash our assertions. And we have done this since 1906. That's how police works. Now, so that point, I want to make it very clear. We cannot accuse anybody of having kwewamba. If we ever prove it, we shall say it. Yes, thank you. Kibet.
It's about events that happened in Kapelebyong the other week, where one of your own, the one was captured, preaching no support. I'm sure the state must have seen that. But is police doing anything great because it's on the spot? Anything about investigating maybe this someone into disciplinary action?
Thank you, Bwana Kibet. The incident which occurred in Kavule and that entire election process is a reflection of how volatile elections can be. Sometimes they can turn into situations like those you saw. Sometimes we need to get to the depth of what went wrong and see how best to fix it. Yes, they have talked about the actions of our officers. Actually, I would prefer we look at the actions of all actors holistically, because there are so many people who behaved in a manner that discomforted the entire process with the objective in how best we can solve these issues. What I would like ngabwe mumanyi nti elections zitera ziba ziri delicate nnyo. Anytime ekintu kyonna kiba kisobola okukola ki emivuyo elections zo they are very delicate. Era ekyaliwo ekavule kiri regrettable si bwe kyalibadde because twetaaga akalulu akalungi nga teri alumizibwa si mwanayinki si mu poliisi si bantu ba bulijjo abeetambulira ebyabwe. So ekyaliwo teri akiwagira, naye kye twagala kwe kunoonya engeri gye tusobola okukola ki okusolvinga
and then going down to organize then assembling it takes a lot of time. So here, I am here for a very short time. As you are all aware, His Excellency the President, on the 23rd January 2025, under Article 99(1) and 4 of the Constitution, issued an executive order regarding the issuance of passports and national IDs. We received the order and we internalized, and we are now here to implement this executive order in its totality. So of course the order serves to clarify and amplify the existing laws, ensuring administrative authorities to comply with the issuance of national IDs and national passports. So of course the key authorities involved here is the Ministry of Internal Affairs in totality, but we have Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control and the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA specifically. So we are working together with the Office of Attorney General to ensure that we align with the executive order and other legislations. So the kind of people that were affected by the procedures before for issuance of passports have been notified, and I would like to take this opportunity now to inform them that the order is being implemented, and they can forthwith come to passport office, and we shall comply with the order in its totality as issued by His Excellency the President. Two, in the last financial year, that is 2023-2024, we issued and granted citizenship to non-Ugandans. These are people who are not Ugandans, but who applied for citizenship. So we issued 1,721 in number. We granted those, and this included, among others, Indians, Pakistanis, Germans, British, Americans, to mention but a few. So we also ensured that people who applied for citizenship, of course, met the regulations, and we forthwith granted. Those who did not meet the criterion for issuance of citizenship were advised to, were deferred and advised on what to do. And of course, we have the main types of citizenships. One, we have citizenship by birth. Citizenship by birth means these are Ugandans who are born here or out of the country, but whose one of the parents or grandparents is a Ugandan. What we mean here, that you are either born in Mulago Hospital, in UK, in Kenya, in DR Congo, in Libya, but if one of your parents or grandparents is a Ugandan, you qualify to be referred to as a citizen by birth. There has been confusion where some people think that when we say citizenship by birth, it means you are only born in Uganda. Not exactly. What we mean is that one of your parents or grandparents is a Ugandan. It does not matter where you are born from. You may be born in South Africa, but when you are either both parents or one of the parents is a Ugandan. That's what we mean by citizenship by birth. The right to your citizenship is not removed by you irrespective of where you are born from, whether you are born here or born out of the country. Now, if you are one of the parents or grandparents is not a Ugandan, even if you are born here, even if you are born in Mengo, in Zambia, Rubaga, Mulago Hospital, if none of the parents or grandparents is a Ugandan, you will remain a non-Ugandan. If you say your father is a German, your mother is a British, and you are born here, you do not automatically become a Ugandan. That's what I was trying to mean. So the first citizenship is citizenship by birth. You are either having one of the parents or grandparents as a Ugandan. The second citizenship is citizenship due to long stay. You came here, you're a non-Ugandan, you have been working legally, staying here and working here, either on a work permit or any other facility, and you have stayed here legally for 10 years. You qualify to be, you qualify to apply for citizenship. And this type of citizenship is what we refer to as citizenship by registration. You come, you stay, you work here, you are a German, you are a British, you are an Indian, you come and work here legally for a period of 10 years, you therefore qualify to apply for citizenship due to registration. It is not automatic. You have to put in your application, and these applications are processed online. The other common type of citizenship we offer in Uganda is citizenship due to marriage. This one, you have got to be a non-Ugandan but married to a Ugandan for at least 5 years legally, either in church or at the district administrator's office for a period subsisting 5 years. You qualify to apply for citizenship due to marriage. You are a Ugandan, you're a German, you have married a Ugandan woman or man, and you have, the marriage has subsisted legally for at least range of the backlog in our stores in Chambogo. We could not keep these passports any longer. We therefore went ahead and destroyed 158,000 passports that have not been collected. 158,000. These are our Ugandans. They came out, they responded, they applied for these passports, they paid for them, but they could not pick these passports. So what would we do? We have been calling out. We don't have where to keep these passports. So we went ahead and destroyed 158,000. We presently have another 12,580 passports, which are lying in our stores. These were between the year 2018 up to now. We have called out the applicants, we have sent messages, we have talked about these passports. We cannot, of course, publish these passports because of the privacy law prevailing. But we have been calling these people to come and pick passports. They have failed to respond. So we have 12,580 in our stores, and the same will be destroyed if these people do not heed the call to come and pick these passports. We also have about 6,000 passports. These were returned by 60,000, not 6,000, 60,000 passports. They were returned by labor export companies that did not manage to take these people out for Cheyo in the Arab countries. 60,000. They returned them. Of course, we called on these companies to return these passports. They are still valid. And we have them. We call upon all Ugandans who were not able to travel abroad for Cheyo to come and check on these passports. If yours falls in there, please, we actually return it to you free of charge because it is your property. Failure to do so after a specified period of time, we shall be able to destroy this passport as well. So we have 60,000 of these returned to us. Also, Ugandans applied for them. They received them. They then handed over these passports to labor export companies. But these companies have since failed to process travel for these people. So we urge these people who fall in this category to come, please, and check on us, because these passports are still valid until most of them 2030, 2031. We still have these passports in our possession. We had a problem during the month of Feb, mid-Feb there, especially with our system that conveys SMS to people who have applied and had their passports processed. So messages were not being sent to people who applied for passports for a period of about 2 to 3 weeks. But we have since corrected this, and messages now are being relayed. Now, if you fall among the group that applied for passports between the month of January up to now and you have not received an SMS, please, you check the status online. You know what to do. If you can't check, then you come and check on us at Chambogo. We have some of these passports ready. And for those whose passports were deferred, we also call upon you to come and see the reason for deferring those passports, so that we can be able to work together and you have your passports collected. In conclusion, let me talk about Uganda's visa policy, which is based on reciprocity, mutual visa abolition agreements, diplomatic relations, and agreements based on membership to regional blocs. It is designed to balance security, economic interests, and international relations. What do we base on when we are giving visas to non-Ugandans who are coming to the country? So what I'm trying to mean. We normally consider reciprocity. What do you do to our Ugandans? If a British wants to come in, we also look at what does UK, how does UK treat our people who go there? Do they ask for visa? Do they not ask for visa? So we reciprocate. Now, those countries that do not ask for visa, we also do not ask for visa. And these countries are as follows. Let me quickly go through them. You do not need a visa to go to these countries. We have updated this list always, and it is even on our website. You don't need a visa to go to the following countries: Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Botswana, Burundi, Comoros, Cyprus, Malawi, Malaysia, Malta, Mauritius, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eritrea, Fiji, Gambia, Ghana, Grenada, Hong Kong, Ireland, Jamaica, Kenya, Lesotho, Madagascar, Singapore, Solomon Island, South Sudan, Vincent and the Grenada, Swaziland, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, United Republic of Tanzania, Vanuatu, Zambia and Zimbabwe. These are 39 countries where you do not need a visa to go to. What does this mean? For instance, you want to travel to Malaysia. You only need your passport and you head to the airport, board the plane. You receive what we call arrival visa, and it will be in the form of a stamp. You do not need to process one before leaving. These countries have been reading, and there are 39 in number. While processing passports, we have improved the turnaround time for processing and issuing of passports, where by now express passports take between 24 to 48 hours at most, and with the standard passports taking between 4 to 8 working days. So it is quite easy. We do not expect Ugandans there to be cheated, to be conned by brokers. We do not work with brokers or third parties in passport processing. So improvement in ranking of passport at the global passport index from 72nd to 68th position, which now means that our passports can go to more countries. They are acceptable in more countries than even ever before. And in conclusion, we have made deliberate efforts to try to apprehend and prosecute those nationals who are out there planning to process Ugandan passports. These are non-Ugandans, most of them live here, and when they come here, they are bent into applying for Ugandan passports. Why? Because Ugandan passport now can go to so many countries, and so those people are tempted to try. We have prosecuted so many, and as I talk, we have so many people in the cells, and others are being processed for prosecution. So passport applicants, some of them who have more than one name, with this we are handling with NIRA that every Ugandan should have only one NIN, and it is this NIN that we use to process passports. Thank you very much. Katono nnyo mu lwafu olw'obulemeezi. Nga bwe mukimanyi, ndowooza wiiki nga nnya emabega, President yafulumya ekiwandiiko kye tuyita executive order nga kigezaako okulambika engeri gye tugabamu passport zaffe ne national ID. Mu kiwandiiko kino ensonga nyingi zayogerwako ne President, era twafuna ekiwandiiko kino, era kati kankozesa omukisa guno okubuulira Abannayuganda okusingira ddala abo bekikwatako ababadde bafuna obuzibu wali ku passport office, nti twatandise okussa mu nkola, okuteeka mu nkola directive eno eya President. Omuntu yenna yali afunye obuzibu mu ngeri emu oba endala, kati waddembe okujja ne tutunula mu nsonga ye ne tulaba oba ekwatagana ne directive eno eya President. So byonna bye tukola kati tugezaako okukolagana n'enira ne office ya Attorney General okulaba nti tuteeka ekiwandiiko kino directive eno eya President mu nkola. Ekyokubiri, waliwo abantu abatali Bannayuganda ababadde basaba obutuuze wano nga basaba citizenship ya Uganda. era ndina omukisa ku makya guno okubabulira nti mu mwaka guno oguwedde 2023-2024 twakagaba obutuuze eri ababusabye abawerera ddala 1721 basaba era ne batuukiriza ebisaanizo ne tubawa obutuuze bwa wano. Abantu bano bava mu mawanga nga India, America, waliwo ba Germany, waliwo ba Kenya, waliwo abava mu Congo, waliwo n'aba British abazungu. Ekirala njagadde okubabuulirako katono nnyo ku bikwatagana ne okugaba obutuuze wano. Tulina obutuuze okusingira ddala buli bwa mirundi nga 6 naye okusingira ddala tulinawo ebika 3 bya butuuze bwe tugaba bwe tuyita mu lufuutifuuti citizenship. Busookera ddala bwe tuyita citizenship by birth, omunnayuganda enzaalwa ya wano. Tubaddewo ne confusion ennaku ezo ng'abantu balowooza nti kasita babanga bakuzaalira bweru bw'eggwanga togwa mu kiti kino ekya citizenship. Nedda, kasita obanga omu ku bazadde bo oba maama oba taata munnayuganda wa wano, naye bwe baba bakuzaalidde mu South Africa, naye bwe baba bakuzaalidde Germany, naye bwe baba bakuzaalidde Bungereza, osigala munnayuganda enzaalwa ya wano gwe tuyita citizen by birth. Tekitegeeza nti olina okuba nga wazaaliwa wano mu ggwanga wekka. Kasita obanga omu ku bazadde bo oba jjajja bo, taata, maama oba jjajja wo kasaabanga munnayuganda, naye bw'oba tebakuzaalidde wano mu ggwanga, osigala oli munnayuganda gwe tuyita Ugandan by birth, citizen by birth. Owokubiri, munnayuganda ki owokubiri? Owokubiri yoyo munnayuganda gwe twawandiisa. Twakuwandiisa originally tewali munnayuganda, wajja wano n'okolera wano mu mateeka ne tukuwa katugeze wajjanga omukozi n'obeera wano mu mateeka n'oba nga tolina misango gyonna ku poliisi. Tulina ku cross checkinga ne poliisi tulabe nti teweetabangako mu kikolwa kyonna ekimenya amateeka g'eggwanga. Tukuwa obutuuze buno nga wayiseewo emyaka 10 mirambirira ng'obadde wano mu ddembe, obadde wano mu mateeka, tolina etteeka lyonna ly'omenye, teweenyigidde mu bintu byonna ebikyamu. Osaba obutuuze buno ne tukuwa. Waliwo obutuuze obulala bwe tuyita citizen by marriage, due to marriage. Buno obutuuze toli munnayuganda naye wajja muno n'ofumbirwa omunnayuganda oba n'owasa omunnayuganda, naye ate nga obufumbe bwamwe bubumazeemu mu mateeka emyaka 5. Si buno obufumbo babuyita bata akawundo kakubye edirisa naye nga obufumbo bwenyini wagenda bukyaki newewandiisa, n'ogenda oba wa administrator ku district newewandiisa. Obufumbo buno bulina okuba nga bwakamala emyaka emirungi ennyo 5. Awo tukuwandiisa n'obeera munnayuganda. Ekirala, waliwo abannayuganda betuyita by naturalization. Bano si bannayuganda mu kusooka naye baze ne babeera wano, babadde wano kyokka si bannayuganda naye bawangaalidde wano. Abamu bazaalibwa wano, bawangaalidde wano emyaka 2 n'okusingako. Wojja ne weewandiisa n'oleeta empapula zo ne tukufuula omunnayuganda. Ekirala nga naatera okumaliriza, waliwo nali wano emyezi egitali gyawala nnyo ne mbabuulirako ku passport ezaali zeetuumye mu store yaffe nga twagala abantu bajje bazinone. Kakati waliwo abatonotono abajja ne banona passport zaabwe naye zaasinga obungi zaali zikyali mu store. Ate nga bwe mukimanyi store zaffe ntono, tetulina space w'okutereka passport. So n'olwekyo twakasaanyawo passport 15,800 zino abantu bazisaba ne basasula passport ne tuzikola ne zibeera mu store, kyokka abantu nga tebafaayo okukola ki okuzinonayo. Passport zino nali wano kyembi nti tetusobola ate kujja ku mpewo ne tusoma passport zino kubanga waliwo etteeka ebayita privacy and data privacy law eya 2019 tetuukiriza kujja wano okusoma passport details z'omuntu ku mpewo. Naye twagezaako ebiseera infact myezi nga 5-6 nga tulanga passport zino mujje munone passport abantu nga buteerere tebaalabikako. So passport zino twakazisaanyaawo ziri 15,800 passport zino twazisaanyeewo. Kyokka naye mu store tukyalimu ne passport endala 12,508. Passport zino nazo twazikola okuva bwe twatandika okukola digital passport kuva 2018 paka kati tebazinonanga, era ziri mu store ekyambogo. Tukubiriza Uganda abali eyo nga wali omu kwabo abasaba passport n'ogisasulira ate passport ne tugikola n'ofuna ne message bambi ojje onone passport yo kubanga tetulina space wakuzitereka. Waliwo n'ekiti ekyokusatu, passport zino ziwerera ddala 6,000 tuzirina. Twazijja mu bitongole bino ebyali ebitwala abantu ebweru naye ne biremererwa. Naali wano ne mbasaba abantu abasinga obungi ne barespondinga ne bajja ne baleeta passport zino. Tuzirina wano ku headquarters ku internal affairs, era tukubiriza Uganda bw'oba wagezaako okusaba ogenda bweru naye ne birema, jangu onone passport yo kubanga passport eyo property yo. Temuzirekera bano abatwala abantu ebweru kubanga waliwo kyetuzudde nti ebitongole ebyo ebitwala abantu ebweru ebimu tebikolera mu mateeka ate nga abalala ne passport ezo bazitunda. So mujje muno ne passport zammwe tuzirina. Then nemaliriza mu mwezi ogwokubiri twafunamu obuzibu nga system yaffe nga tesindika obubaka eri abo passport eziri ready. So kati kyetwakola mu weeks ez'esatu abantu tebafuna messages, naye oluvannyuma ennyo ba engineers baffe ne ba IT specialists bakola ku system era messages ezo ne tuzisindika. Naye bw'oba tewafuna message naye kyokka nga wakola passport mu January mu mwezi ogwokubiri naye tofunanga message, tofunanga bubaka, jangu otukebereko. Passport zino weziri zafuluma. Oyinza n'okugenda ku mukutu n'okebera oba passport yo yafuluma oba teyafuluma. Naye bw'eba teyafuluma kiba kitegeeza nti waliwo ensonga lwaki passport yo teyafuluma. Jangu otuchekingeko tukubuulire lwaki passport yo teyafuluma oba twagidifaringa tusobole okulaba nti tukuweereza mu ngeri ng'eyo. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Waliwo akantu ka visa kembadde nerabidde kakwatagana ne visa Uganda zegaba. Visa zetugabira abajja eno Uganda, abatali bana Uganda, abagenyi abagala okujja kukolera wano oba abagala okujja kulambula. Tulina procedures kirinde okugaba visa twesigama ku bintu bisatu. Ekisookera ddala tusinziira ku eggwanga eryo ly'ovuddeyo bannayuganda libayisa litya. bw'oba twagala kugendayo batusaba visa oba nedda. Bw'eba batusaba visa naffe nga tukusaba visa. Bw'oba tugendayo ku bwereere nga tusabye visa naffe kyekimu kye tukola. Eyo principle gye tuyita reciprocity. Ekyokubiri, diplomatic relations. Omuntu bw'aba alina passport ya diplomatic, zino passport emyufu, talina kusasulira visa. Naye bw'oba ogenda mu ggwanga ala naffe kye tukola. Ne wabeerawo ebirala okubalansinga security y'eggwanga n'okubalansinga ebintu nga economic interests. So countries zino zengenda okusoma wano tewetaaga visa kugenda mu zino countries. Ekisookera ddala Antigua and Barbuda tewetaaga visa. Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Botswana, Burundi, Comoros, Cyprus tewetaaga visa kugenda Malawi. Malaysia, Malta tewetaaga visa kugenda Mauritius, Mozambique, Rwanda, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, DR Congo, Eritrea, Fiji, Gambia, Ghana, Grenada, Hong Kong, Ireland tewetaaga visa. Jamaica, Kenya, Lesotho, Madagascar, Singapore, Solomon Island, South Sudan, St. Vincent and the Grenada, Swaziland, Tonga, Trinidad and Tobago, United Republic of Tanzania, Vanuatu, Zambia ne Zimbabwe. Waliwo n'enteesaganya ezigenda mu maaso wakati wa Uganda ne South Africa ez'okugyawo visa. Ago amawulire nago tugasubira ensaawa yonna okugyawo visa okugenda e South Africa. Naye kyokka bw'oba olina service passport tewetaaga visa ogenda South Africa. Service passport yeno passport ey'ekiragala abakungu nga commissioners mu government, commissioners, heads of departments, passport tubagabira zino eza kiragala. Tewetaaga visa okugenda bw'oba ogenda South Africa, tewetaaga visa. Kyokola olinya bulinya n'ogenda South Africa ne bakuwa visa ng'omaze okutuuka eri. Naye enteesaganya zigenda mu maaso na zino ordinary passports gye bujja enteesaganya we zinaaba ziwedde tojja kwetaaga visa okugenda South Africa ng'olina eno passport ya ordinary. Mwebale nnyo, mwebaleta. Yes, question. Huh? Okay, thank you very much. He's asking about, in terms of money, the 158,000 passports were destroyed. What does that translate into? How much? Of course, you simply get 158,000 and multiply by the cost of the passport. A passport now is 250. So if you get 250,000 and multiply by 250,000 by 158,000, you are talking about 39,500,000,000. That's the amount of money that has gone to waste. 39 billions worth of this. That's the cost. Because to apply for a passport, you pay. Actually, allow me to tell you this, that we cannot process a passport unless you have paid. The system cannot even allow. Money, the passport system is linked to URA. Now, for the passport to be accepted on the system to be printed, URA must have given a nod. Without URA receiving the money, the passport system cannot proceed. So just know that these passports cost 39.5 billion that have gone to waste for people who have either failed to pick their passport or utterly refused to pick their passport. Mu Luganda, omwami abadambuza passport zino ze twasanyeewo emitwalo 15 mu Kanaana. Kitegeeza ki mu ssente ezifiiriddwa bw'okwata cost ya passport tuba tugikolera emitwalo 25 n'okubisaamu passport 15 mu Kanaana. Kiba kitegeeza nti ssente ezoononeddwawo ziri obuwumbi 39 n'ekitundu. Abantu bazisasula. Jukira passport okugikola olina okusooka okusasula mane ssente ku system URA esooka ezirabe system eyo ekkirizibwa okukola passport eyo. So